Beer is older than writing, wine existed before the pyramids, and the story of alcohol may have started long before the first city was ever built. But here's the real question. When did ancient humans actually start drinking alcohol? Did someone accidentally invent it? Was it used for celebrations? Or did our ancestors discover it by pure chance? As strange as it sounds, the answer begins not in a brewery, but with overripe fruit lying on the forest floor. Let's travel back thousands of years to uncover one of humanity's oldest and most surprising discoveries. Today, alcohol is part of celebrations, religious ceremonies, family gatherings, and cultures across the globe. But long before bottles, vineyards, or breweries existed, nature had already invented alcohol. Our ancestors didn't create it, they discovered it. In this video, we'll explore when humans first encountered alcohol, how they learned to make it, why they kept drinking it, and how one accidental discovery changed human history forever. Let's begin where it all started. Millions of years before humans existed, yeast was already hard at work. When fruits became overripe or damaged, natural yeast fed on their sugars. As the sugar broke down, it produced alcohol. That meant animals eating fermented fruit could accidentally become intoxicated. Our early ancestors almost certainly experienced the same thing. Imagine gathering berries or figs from the ground, only to discover that some made you feel different. You probably wouldn't understand why, but you definitely remember the experience. Long before humans brewed alcohol, nature had already become the world's first bartender. Here's something fascinating. Scientists believe our ancestors evolved an improved ability to digest small amounts of alcohol millions of years ago. Why? Because ripe fruit was packed with calories, and fruit that had just begun fermenting often contained even more sugar than unripe fruit. Being able to tolerate a little alcohol meant our ancestors could safely eat food that other animals might avoid. In a world where every calorie mattered, that was a huge survival advantage. Ironically, one of humanity's oldest relationships with alcohol may have started simply by looking for lunch. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans only encountered naturally fermented fruit. But everything changed after people began settling down and storing food. Imagine leaving crushed fruit in a container for several days, or grain mixed with water. Without anyone realizing it, yeast would begin fermenting the mixture. Days later, instead of fresh juice, you'd have something entirely different. The first alcoholic drink may not have been invented at all. It may have happened by accident, and someone brave or curious decided to take the first sip. One of the biggest surprises in archaeology is this. Some researchers believe humans may have brewed beer before they regularly baked bread. Evidence from ancient sites suggests people were experimenting with fermented grains more than 13,000 years ago. Some archaeologists even propose that the desire to make beer encouraged early farming. Think about that. What if agriculture wasn't only about food, but also about brewing? While experts continue debating this idea, it's a reminder that human history is often far more surprising than we imagine. As civilizations developed, alcohol became much more than a beverage. It brought people together. It was shared during celebrations, used in religious ceremonies, offered to honored guests, and sometimes even given as payment for workers. In many ancient communities, drinking wasn't simply about getting drunk. It was about strengthening friendships, celebrating important moments, and creating traditions that lasted for generations. This might sound strange, but in some situations, fermented drinks could actually be safer than untreated water. During fermentation, alcohol and natural acids made it harder for many harmful microbes to survive. That didn't make ancient beer perfectly clean, but in places where water sources were contaminated, lightly fermented drinks were sometimes a more reliable option. Of course, people didn't know anything about bacteria. They simply noticed what seemed to work. Observation often came long before scientific explanation. Today, alcohol is often associated with parties. Ancient societies had a broader view. Some drank during harvest festivals. Others used alcohol in religious rituals. Many believed it helped people communicate with the spiritual world. It also played a role in weddings, community feasts, and diplomatic gatherings. In other words, alcohol became woven into culture itself. Although alcohol was valued, many societies also understood its dangers. Some cultures created rules about who could drink. Others limited drinking during important work or religious duties. Even thousands of years ago, people recognized that something enjoyable could become harmful if taken too far. It's a lesson that has echoed throughout history. At first glance, alcohol might seem like a simple drink, but its impact reaches far beyond the cup. It influenced farming, inspired trade, played a role in religion, strengthened social bonds, and became part of celebrations across countless civilizations. From accidental fermentation to organized brewing, alcohol grew alongside humanity itself. Its history is in many ways our history. So, when did ancient humans start drinking alcohol? The answer depends on what we mean by drinking. Our earliest ancestors probably tasted naturally fermented fruit millions of years ago without fully understanding what it was. Much later, early humans learned to intentionally ferment grains, fruits, and honey, transforming a natural accident into one of humanity's oldest traditions. From prehistoric forests to ancient civilizations, from fallen fruit to carefully brewed beer, alcohol has accompanied humans on an extraordinary journey through history. The next time you see a glass of beer or wine, remember, its story didn't begin in a factory or a vineyard. It began with wild yeast, ripe fruit, and the curiosity of our ancient ancestors. Sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't planned. They're stumbled upon by accident. If you enjoyed uncovering the surprising origins of alcohol, let me know in the comments. Do you think beer really helped inspire farming, or was it simply a happy accident? And if you're fascinated by the hidden stories of ancient history, archaeology, and human evolution, don't forget to subscribe.